2021, General Motors recalled its Bolt EV for battery fires. It had to recall 141,000 bolts, which cost General Motors and mostly LG nearly $2 billion to cover. Just about a year later now, GM is recalling an additional 140,000 plus Bolt EVs over fire risks. Say it ain't so, history is repeating itself all over again, but it's not as bad as it looks. Welcome to the channel. This is Kirky Cars, where I discuss industry auto electrified news. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's talk about General Motors electrified news today, especially with the Bolt starting off. We'll also talk about rules changing in the United States, how that can affect EV tax credits, which will include the Bolt. And we'll also talk about Buick's vision, its new electrified vehicles in China, but their vision here in the United States for their dealer network. So over at Reuters, General Motors said Tuesday it is recalling 140,000 Bolt EVs in North America because the carpet could catch fire after a crash where a front seatbelt pretensioner deploys. Thank God it's not another battery recall. That would cost another $2 billion in theory. The US automaker said the recall covers various 2017 through 23 model year Bolt EV vehicles due to rare instances of the front seatbelt pretensioner exhaust gases coming in contact with floor carpeting fibers after a vehicle crash, which could cause a fire. Just insane that they're able to figure these things out, but it's just unfortunate because the Bolt's nature continues to be tarnished. It just got Car of the Year over at Electric. It's very affordable, and it looks to be getting a little bit more affordable because the US Treasury will delay the EV battery sourcing guidance until March. We continually have these moving goalposts with the Inflation Reduction Act and how that affects the EV tax credit. But what it could be happening is the Chevy Bolt could be available with even more tax credits. What this means is that between January 1st and sometime in March, Chevy Bolt may qualify for an additional $3,750 in credits that won't qualify for after March, giving it access to $7,500 in tax credits. So it starts at $25,000. In theory, you'd be able to get this vehicle under $20,000 if you can get the tax credits. I hear this vehicle is getting very hard to get, though. I'm hearing dealer markups are, well, nothing new, but it's really affecting the Bolt EV and EUV. So let's move on because we got some really interesting news about Buick. Buick is kind of a snoozer brand here in North America, but it is one massive brand in China. Buick teases Electra E5 SUV in China, its first Ultium platform-based model. Looking at the images of this little crossover, I'm getting vibes of, let's say, the Mitsubishi Outlander in the back here. We have the door handles that suck into the doors, and the front is a very handsome front. I get a little bit of like Kona headlights up here at the top, or you could say the 7 Series BMW now has similar lights at the top here. And I like the new Buick logo. The shields are now 3 separate shields, and they did something pretty cool in the back. So there's another image of the front, image of the side. Looks a little Volvo-esque or Audi-esque kind of with this charging port here, but check out what they did in the back is they have 3 little brake lights here at the top to kind of reflect the 3 shields of Buick. Overall, it's a very handsome SUV. An EV for that matter, and I hope they bring this vehicle here to America. It only looks like it has a single motor of 180 kilowatts, which is about 240 horsepower, 180 kilometers an hour, which is about 100 miles per hour, if I remember right. If you round up, it's about 112 miles per hour. No surprise that CATL has their hands on the battery pack in here, the largest battery manufacturer in the world out of China. So the Electra E5 is over here at Automotive News. Hopefully they bring this vehicle here to America, but they're saying Electra is going to be the name for its EV lineup. So when I hear Electra, I think Carmen Electra. So I guess that's a good thing. Maybe that'll get people to think about Buicks a little bit more seriously, I guess. Buick dealers face at least a $300,000 investment to sell and service EVs. Buick plans to ship to an all-EV lineup by 2030, and it does not plan to introduce any new gasoline-powered vehicles after 2024. That is super aggressive. The brand will use the Electra name for its EV lineup along with an alphanumeric code to distinguish the models. So Electra E5 is the only one that we know of, I guess, at this point in time, or at least I know of. And Buick has offered to buy out any US dealers who don't want to make the required investments to sell EVs. At the start of the year, Buick had nearly 2,000 dealerships in North America. Now, this isn't the first time we've heard something like this out of General Motors dealers. General Motors is saying, get with the program or we'll buy you out. This happened with Cadillac. Nearly 900 dealers took the buyout, which ranged from $300,000 to $500,000. So I would expect maybe even a larger amount of dealers here for Buick to take the buyout than we even saw for Cadillac. It's tough to see the cute little Bolt EV get another massive recall. Luckily, like I said earlier, it's not for the battery pack, but it's still because of fire. So this thing going to be notorious for its fire recalls either way you cut it. But I'm going to end it there. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more industry EV auto news. I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you're subscribed. Thank you for all your support so far on the channel. It's a lot of fun expanding my coverage, as my original channel, Kirk Kreifels, is still doing great covering industry auto news. A little bit more traditional though. Thank you guys so much. Take care and peace.